Well, hello everyone. It's Crystal, and I'm here today for Chat with Crystal Empowered Coaching Conversations. It's Friday the 13th. I know it's supposed to be that scary day, but I've actually had some pretty good luck happening for me on Friday the 13th. I don't know. What about you? Anyways, I would love to say hello. We're not going to be doing a very long chat with Crystal today because I'm so super stoked about our upcoming Simply Woman Global Summit. So what's really, really exciting is our new book, Simply Woman, is just finally hitting bookstores, Amazon, Kindle, around the world. We're just getting a few of the little glitches worked out, but very soon you're going to be able to grab that book from almost anywhere in the world. We have amazing women who are in this book, and actually starting tomorrow, we are launching the first ever Simply Woman Global Summit. And if you go to www.simplywomansummit, simplywoman with an A, summit.com, you can register at no charge to receive 30-minute interviews with the incredible women who are in this book. On the back of the book, I know you see the big star, you see the big ring light there. Let me see if we can not have that ring light. Incredible women. Incredible women from all over the world. In fact, actually tomorrow is Stacy Serena, and Stacy is an incredible writer. Oh my God, her story is the very first story in the book, and she's our very first interview tomorrow. Just extraordinary. We did the pre-interview, and my goodness, just talking with Stacy, I was like, this woman is so brilliant, not just in her writing, but in the way that she articulates and communicates, her experiences and what she went through. So I'm really excited for you to meet Stacy tomorrow for day one of our Simply Woman Global Summit. And then on day two, we have Shelley Lether. Shelley was married to a Hollywood blockbuster movie producer, and she's just beautiful, living in Hollywood. And she tells her story in her chapter about just feeling like her life looked picture perfect on the outside, but she was absolutely imploding on the inside. Her marriage was imploding. She did not want to be a mother. She did not want to, it's just incredible, the rawness and the truth of her interview and her chapter. So I'm so excited for you to be able to be a part of that and to watch these women and to be inspired by them and to be God, I find I thought this book was going to be a book that you kind of want to take your time and read a chapter at a time. But we now have so many testimonials of people who have read the book and said, Crystal, I read it straight through. It took me 6 hours. I couldn't put it down. We have men who have read the book and said, I think every man should read this book. Every teenager should read this book. One of our testimonials was a man that said, I have a 14-year-old daughter. I want her to read this book. I read it first because I wanted to make sure it wasn't too heavy. And I think that's what some of the people are afraid of. They're afraid a little bit of getting into it. Even my husband said before he read it, he was like, I was a little like, is this going to just be all like the Me Too movement? Is it just going to be one story after another of women who have been sexually abused? And is it like, and I said, no, I think there's one or two stories out of 30. And they're written not from the wounded place. They're really written from triumph and a woman who's come through and has something to share and life lessons. But there is just as many different stories as there are different women. We have women from day 3 is Nior Carmu. She lives in Liberia, Africa, and she has 49 children. 5 biological and 44 children that she's adopted. Many of them were child soldiers. And she went through the Liberian Civil War when her children were little, and the horrifying, horrific stories that she went through that Liberian Civil War. And she made a promise to God, like, if you can save me and my children, I will come back and adopt some of these kids who have lost their parents and have lost their way. And she did that very thing. And she's one of the stories in our book. And I know, again, we did a pre-interview, and within 5 seconds of her interview, I was crying. I was playing a song, simply, so Oh My Sister Stand Up, and all I heard her say was amen. And her amen did something to me, and I just filled up with tears, and I was like, this woman is in our book. This woman who has adopted 44 children and is building, an incredible charity now called SaveMoreKids.org, She's in our book. And just every story in this book just has moved me to the point of, like, this may in fact be the most important project I've ever worked on in my life. And so I'm really super excited. So today isn't going to be a long chat with Crystal, unless any of you have some questions or you have some coaching that you want, and you can write it right in there on the Facebook chat. If you've got something going on or a question that you want to ask away. And I would love to be able to support you and to take you through the empowerment process. But again, I want to recommend that if you haven't yet already signed up for our Simply Woman Summit, our Simply Woman Global Summit, it starts tomorrow, and you're going to want to sign up for that. Every day for 30 days is a 30-minute interview. Now you might say, oh my God, that's going to be, oh my God, these interviews, holy moly, they're just unbelievable. So www.simplywomansummit.com. So Elizabeth, you just asked, what time is the summit going to be available? It's going live tomorrow morning, and every day you'll get an email with a little bit of a story of the woman whose interview is coming up next, and every woman is giving away a bonus gift. So we actually have over 60 bonus gifts, because I'm giving a different gift every day as well for people who are part of the summit, and each of the authors are giving a gift. So for example, New York. Oh my God, when you wait till you see her interview, and at the end she begins to sing. She says, can I sing? This incredible woman from Liberia, Africa begins to sing a song, and she closes her eyes and she starts to sing. And I'm crying. I'm like, I'm crying. And so her gift is this beautiful prayer that she created. And you just opt into her site, SaveMoreKids.org, and you'll get a sample of her prayer. Stacy, who's our interview tomorrow, she has an amazing gift on really helping you understand archetypes and how different archetypes are playing a role in your life, in the shadow, and how to shine light into the shadow, and how the shadow is just as powerful as the light. And so each one of these women, I have to tell you, were hand selected by me for their courage, for their triumph, for their life lesson, and for their ability to connect in such a real and powerful way. So I'm really supercharged about that. Yeah, Elizabeth, wait, oh my goodness. Because like I said, this summit, I think, is special beyond special, powerful beyond measure. In fact, Colette Baron Reid, the Oracle, Colette Baron Reid, when she got a copy of the book, and she's actually got a quote on the back, powerful beyond measure, a must read. So on the back it says, it's a critical time in the world's history, especially for women. We are being called upon like never before to stand up, come together, and rewrite our futures. To remember where we've been, how we got here, and what we want moving forward. Simply Woman, Stories from 30 Magnificent Women Who Have Risen Against the Odds, is a powerfully moving compilation of women's experiences from all over the globe. Like I said, we have women from Africa, South Africa, Palestine, Aruba, the Netherlands, England, Canada, the United States. We just really wanted to find women and different stories. Like, what's the common thread is, like, we all want the same things. We all want to love and be loved. We want our children to be safe. We want to be safe. We want to be able to live a healthy life, and to have dignity and respect, and to, each story in this compilation uncovers a different journey from pain and suffering to wisdom and truth. And let these brave women speak to you, enlighten and inspire you, evoke you. Sharing is truly how we will heal the world. Sharing is how we heal ourselves. And it's so cathartic. It's so empowering. This is how we forge our legacy. This is how we create a better future. This is how we heal the world one strong woman at a time. So I'm really hoping that you're going to join us tomorrow, starting tomorrow, for our first ever Simply Woman Global Summit. Again, the URL is www.simplywomansummit.com. Please come and join us. I'm actually spending the day today doing some of the interviews, and tomorrow doing more of the interviews. So when you go to the summit page and you get registered, you're actually going to see that you have access to a lot of interviews, although we have it planned to go out one a day for 30 days. Every one of those authors also has a special gift that you're going to want, and you're going to want to be in their world. So I'm really excited for you to be a part of us. And Kelly, I agree. We all want peace in the world, and it's crazy what's going on still in the world. And I know when the Dalai Lama came to Canada in 2009, he told the Vancouver Peace Summit that the Western woman will heal the world. And I think what he meant by that is that there are still so many countries and so many places in the world where women don't have the rights that we have. I think a lot of us forget that 100 years ago, women weren't yet considered a person under the law. Here in Canada, it was 1917. In the United States, it was 1920 that we actually first got the right to be considered a person under the law. And there's still many countries in the world that women are not yet considered people under the law. They don't have rights yet. And so that's why the Western woman is being called right now to have these conversations. And it's certainly not anti-man, because I think every good man wants his woman to be healthy and empowered, and he does see her as an equal. And so that's something that we're really trying to achieve for women that don't have that right yet and don't have that voice. I also want to encourage you to grab a copy of the book. Actually, each one of the authors are also selling the book. So I would love, Janet Green, of course, your great-grandmother was a legit suffragette. Well, now I know where you got the fire in you, Janet, because you come by it naturally. The Western woman shall heal the world. Yes, the Dalai Lama said that in 2009 at the Vancouver Peace Summit. So really powerful. I remember when I heard him say that, I cried. I don't know if you ever find, and one of the things that we teach in empowerment coaching is the laugh of truth and the tears of truth. And sometimes when you're coaching someone, or it's a great tip when it comes to your kids, if you want to figure out when your kids are lying, here's what will happen. You will be chatting away with them, and then you'll ask them a question. Like, did you do that? And they'll either get a grin and it's so instantaneous they can't help it because it's the grin of truth. Often when I'm coaching a woman and I will say something to her, we get coaching about something and maybe she's struggling in an area of her life, and denial is a funny thing. Didn't even notice I am lost. Most people who are in denial don't know they're in denial. They're not trying to lie to themselves. They're not trying to not access a part of their truth. It's just a mechanism of the brain. The brain sometimes just wants you to be so protected that it doesn't want you to deal with things that it doesn't think you can deal with. So often when I'm coaching someone, I will suggest something, or I'll ask them a certain question, or I'll sort of assert to them, this is what I'm seeing. And without fail, when you get that automatic giggle, or like, oh, it's so quick, or they instantly begin to have tears just sort of pierce their eyes, you've hit on something that's deep and it's truthful. In fact, that's why comedy is so fabulous, because you take the truth, you just exaggerate it a tiny bit, and you deliver it in a funny way to an audience, and everybody's laughing. And guess what they're laughing? They're laughing laughs of truth. Oh my God, that's so true. Oh my God, that's so true. So one of the things that I teach in empowerment coaching is how to be able to recognize and help people decipher when maybe they're not sure and they're unclear about what their next steps are or what they want. And I will, sort of pose things to them. And whenever that moment happens where they give me that little laugh, and I'll go, okay, we're on to something. So there's a little tip for you, especially for those of you with kids and you're trying to catch them. Are you telling the truth? Don't let them know this. Don't say, oh my God, you're laughing. Oh my God, I caught you. But usually it's a little grin that they can't hold in, and that's when you know you're onto something. So what I would love to say is, for anyone who would like to know more about what empowerment coaching is all about, visit us at the SWAT Institute, Simply Woman Accredited Trainer Institute, SWAT, the SWAT Institute. And it's really funny because when I launched the school in 2009, just went around the time of the Dalai Lama. And I remember we launched it in 2010. I'd heard the Dalai Lama speak in 2009, and I knew we were being called. And that's when I made the decision. I'm going to build this international coaching institute exclusively for women to help heal the world. And I remember when I came up with the name SWAT Institute, Simply Woman Accredited Trainer, but the acronym SWAT, I had so many people say to me, why would you call a woman's school SWAT? It's so masculine. And I said, because we're the new special weapons and tactical. We're the new special weapon. And the special weapon is to heal with love and to to resonate in the higher levels of consciousness and to help take women out of the muck, out of the shame and the guilt and the blame and the fear and the sorrow and the jealousy and insecurity and anger and frustration, all the stuff that we can get just locked in. And to be able to teach a woman how to lift herself out of the lower levels of consciousness, out of the shame and through the guilt and through the fear and the blame and all the way up into courage. That's a powerful, powerful tool. And it's not that it wouldn't work just as beautifully for men. It does, and it works for children, and it works for couples. But it's that we really know that we're being called right now. And it's really about, for me, I'm just so passionate about helping women rise out of that victim place and rise out of that place where we didn't know our worth and we didn't know what we could do and we didn't know what we could achieve. And very few of us had mothers that ran Fortune 500 companies, if any. And so we're being called right now. It's a really special time for women, and we're being called, and I feel called. And so if it's calling to you, I would love for you to check us out, check out what we do at, of course, theswatinstitute.com. Again, I'm not going to be here long today because I'm off to hours and hours of interviews with these incredible women. So again, I want to encourage you, if you haven't signed up yet for the Simply Women Summit.com, please do. It's 30 days of 30 amazing interviews with 30 amazing women. Lots of gifts and giveaways. The book is magnificent. If you haven't gotten a copy yet, love you to grab it and come back and join us. Maybe you'll want to listen to a couple weeks of interviews before you make the decision to invest $20 in a book, and that's okay too. Lots of giveaways, lots of prizes, and lots of love and inspiration. So that's all for today. Namaste. Sending you love. Hope to see you on the summit tomorrow. And that's all for now. Bye for now, everyone.